Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do it around here today? We're going to be talking about Viktor Frankl.
Oh, yeah, Viktor Frankl. I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, he's someone who, went through some pretty intense stuff and managed to come out of it with a really powerful message.
Absolutely. I mean, he survived the Holocaust, spent years in concentration camps, and in the midst of that unimaginable suffering, he developed this philosophy called logotherapy.
Logotherapy, right? And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people maybe have heard of it, but might not really know what it is.
Well, it all boils down to the idea that our primary drive in life is the search for meaning.
Meaning, huh? So it's not just about happiness or pleasure.
Right. Frankl believed that meaning is what truly motivates us, and what's really incredible is that he argues we can find meaning even in the midst of suffering.
Even in suffering, wow. That's a powerful statement, especially coming from someone who experienced so much of it.
Yeah, it really makes you think about what it means to be human and how we cope with challenging situations.
So how did Frankl explain this idea of finding meaning, even in the toughest times?
He proposed three main avenues for finding meaning. The first one is experiential meaning, which we experience through love, connection, and human relationships.
That makes sense. Even when things are tough, love can be a real source of strength.
Absolutely. The second avenue is creative meaning, which comes from contributing to the world through our work, our passions, our unique talents.
So it's about finding something that gives us a sense of purpose and allows us to make a difference.
Exactly. And the third avenue is what Frankl called attitudinal meaning, and this one's a bit more challenging. It's about finding meaning in our attitude towards unavoidable suffering by choosing how we respond to it.
I can see how that one would be tough, but I guess it speaks to the power we have within ourselves, even in the face of terrible circumstances.
Precisely, Frankl believed that even when stripped of everything else, we retain the freedom to choose our attitude, our response to what life throws our way.
And he has that famous quote about the space between stimulus and response, right?
Yes, he said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom.
Wow, that's really resonating with me. So even when faced with challenges, there's always a choice in how we react.
That's the core of logotherapy. It's about recognizing that space, that freedom to choose, and using it to find meaning even when things are incredibly difficult.
And to illustrate this, Frankl used a very powerful example from his time in the concentration camp.
He talked about the prisoners and how they chose to consume their meager daily ration of bread.
I remember reading about that. It's a simple act, but it carries so much weight.
Absolutely. Some prisoners devoured their bread immediately, seeking a brief moment of satisfaction. Others carefully divided it, savoring small pieces throughout the day, extending that sense of control and autonomy for as long as possible.
It's incredible how even in such a dehumanizing environment, they found ways to assert their humanity.
It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and our inherent need to find meaning even in the darkest of places. And what's important for us today is to recognize that this principle applies to our own lives as well.
You mean even if our challenges don't compare to what Frankl endured, we can still find meaning in how we choose to respond?
Exactly. Think about the challenges you face in your own life. How can you apply this concept of choosing your attitude? Where can you find that space between the stimulus and your response?
That's a really good question. It makes me think about how easy it is to just react, impulsively to difficult situations. But maybe if we pause even for a moment, we can find a more meaningful way to respond.
Yeah, it's like hitting that pause button before reacting, right? Giving us a chance to think about that space Frankl talked about.
Exactly. Now, Frankl didn't just focus on, our own individual search for meaning. He also wrote a lot about love and its impact on our lives.
Oh, absolutely. He believed that love is an essential part of being human and a powerful source of meaning even in the face of suffering.
He even said, the salvation of man is through love and in love, which is a pretty bold statement considering what he went through.
It is, but even in the concentration camps, Frankl saw love, compassion, selflessness. Those expressions of love somehow transcending even the most horrific circumstances.
There's this quote from his book that really captures this idea. I understood how a man who has nothing left in this world still may know bliss, be it only for a brief moment in the contemplation of his beloved.
It's so powerful, isn't it? Even when everything else is stripped away, that connection to another human being can bring meaning and even joy.
It makes you realize that love isn't just, a fleeting emotion, but a deep well of strength and resilience.
And it connects back to that idea of experiential meaning, right? Through our relationships with others, through love and connection, we find a sense of purpose that goes beyond ourselves.
And thinking about this in the context of legacy, I'm reminded of this video I saw about the top 5 regrets people have on their deathbeds.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that one. What were they again?
Well, 2 of them were, did my life have a purpose? And did I make an impact?
Those really hit home, don't they? And they tie directly into Frankl's belief that we all have something unique to contribute to the world.
He believed that in making a difference, however small, we could find a deep sense of meaning.
It's about leaving the world a little bit better than we found it, through our work, our relationships, or simply by being kind to those around us.
So it's not just about finding meaning for ourselves, but also about contributing to a larger purpose, something bigger than ourselves.
Right, and that leads us back to Frankl's idea of the unfinished business of living. It's recognizing that even as we get older, even in the face of suffering, there's always something more we can do, something we can strive for.
It's like we're all part of this ongoing story, and we each have a role to play in shaping how it unfolds.
Yeah, it really is humbling to think about that. Even in our everyday lives, we have the opportunity to contribute to something bigger than ourselves. It is, and it all comes back to that idea of choice. Every day we make choices that shape our lives and the lives of those around us.
So how can we make sure those choices are, aligned with our values and contribute to that unfinished business of living that Frankl talked about?
That's the question, isn't it? That's what Frankl would want us to be asking ourselves. What are those small everyday choices we can make to live a more meaningful life?
It's so easy to get caught up in the big picture, and feel overwhelmed, but maybe the key is to focus on those small acts of, courage, kindness, creativity.
I think you're right. It's about finding meaning in those everyday moments, not just waiting for some big grand purpose to reveal itself.
Yeah, it's about being present in our lives and recognizing the opportunities we have to make a difference even in small ways.
Frankl's message is so relevant today, as much as it was when he wrote Man's Search for Meaning. It's a timeless reminder that we have the power to choose our attitude and find meaning even in the face of suffering.
It's not about pretending everything's okay or denying the pain, but about finding a way to move forward, to make choices that align with our values and contribute to the world in a way that feels authentic to us.
Exactly. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, the good and the bad, and finding the purpose that lies within it all.
So for anyone listening out there, if you're ready to dive deeper into these ideas, I highly recommend checking out Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's a really profound and moving read.
It really is a must-read for anyone who wants to understand how to find meaning in life, especially when things get tough.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as you go about your day, we'll leave you with this. What small choices can you make today to align your actions with your values? What can you do right now to contribute to your own unfinished business of living?
It's a question worth thinking about as you go through life and strive to make a positive impact on the world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Viktor Frankl. Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep finding the meaning that's waiting to be discovered in your own unique journey.